In 2020, Tyler, the Creator, walked off the Grammy stage with one of the most prestigious awards in music and called it a backhanded compliment. He had just won Best Rap Album for Igor, but standing backstage, in front of flashing cameras and stunned journalists, Tyler made it very clear he wasn't celebrating.
It sucks that whenever we, and I mean guys that look like me, do anything that's genre bending or that's anything, they always put it in a rap or urban category.
That moment wasn't just awkward, it was historic. Tyler had done something few artists dare to do. Use their biggest spotlight to expose the very system applauding them. So what really happened that night? Why did one of the most creative artists of his generation feel miscategorized and misrepresented by the biggest music institution in the world? This is the story of Tyler, the Creator, versus the Grammys. Let's rewind to January 2020. Igor had just been nominated for Best Rap Album, and a lot of people were confused because Igor didn't sound like rap. It wasn't full of bars or trap drums. It was synth-heavy, melodic, emotional. It was weird in the best way. It was genre-defying, and that was exactly the problem. When Tyler accepted the award, he said thanks and then dropped the mic metaphorically.
I'm half and half on it. On one side, I'm very grateful that what I made could just be, acknowledged in the world like this.
The Recording Academy had labeled Igor as a rap album, not because of what it sounded like, but because of who made it. And Tyler was tired of being boxed in. This wasn't just about one trophy. It was about how black artists, especially those who experiment, are constantly misfiled by the music industry. And Tyler wasn't going to stay silent. When Tyler called out the Grammys in 2020, he didn't just criticize his category. He took aim at a word, urban. This term has been used by the music industry for decades. A vague, corporate-safe word that really just meant black music that doesn't sound traditionally black. Tyler said it plainly.
It's just a politically correct way to say the N-word to me.
He wasn't the only one speaking out. Artists like Frank Ocean, The Weeknd, and even Billie Eilish had started questioning why the Grammys created categories that kept music and people in boxes. The backlash forced the Recording Academy to respond. Later that year, they announced they were retiring the term urban from category names. But changing a label isn't the same as changing a system. For Tyler, it wasn't just about what you call the genre. It was about why black artists are rarely allowed to just be artists, and how even when you create something completely new, like Igor, the system still finds a way to flatten it. While the industry struggled to categorize Tyler, he was busy doing something much bigger, building entire aesthetic universes around each project. He once said, "I'm not making albums. I'm building worlds." And each world was radically different, not just in sound, but in color, in fashion, in feeling. With Igor, he blurred the line between rap, soul, synth-pop, and theater. It was cohesive, conceptual, cinematic, but it didn't fit the mold. It wasn't what the Grammys expected from a rap artist. So they gave him a rap album Grammy anyway. Not because it made sense, but because it was the closest box they had. Tyler's art challenges those boxes. And not just musically. His brand, Golf Le Fleur, is genderless, pastel, luxurious. His shows are choreographed, theatrical, curated down to the perfume sprayed on the merch. He's not a rapper. He's not an urban artist. He's a creative director of his own universe. And maybe that's what the Grammys never knew how to reward. After Call Me If You Get Lost, Tyler won Best Rap Album again. And sure, this time it was more rap, but the problem remained. The Grammys were still putting him in a box he never chose. It's not just about awards. It's about recognition, about whether the system can evolve to see black artists as multidimensional, not just rhythmic. Tyler doesn't need the Grammys. He has fans, a vision, a brand, and a legacy that's bigger than categories. But his story reveals a bigger truth, that even in 2025, Genius is still being mislabeled, and creativity is still being confined by the industry's outdated filters. Tyler, the creator, isn't fighting for a trophy. He's fighting for the right to define himself and maybe redefine everything else in the process.